From the depths of raw and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight, they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name, disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight, they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name, disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Armored and filled with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains, just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, the cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Beneath the warp the souls are bound, to spread decay, to break the ground. Nurgle's gifts a putrid stain, a future where only disease remains. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. The rot spreads, there's no escape. The death god seals your fate.
And hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast, and with the full crew today, aren't we? Hello Dave and Will.
Happy New Year.
Hi guys.
And yeah, indeed, Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
I 100% would have forgotten. We're already one day into the new year. Hopefully everyone had a splendid sort of last night, if you did anything. I mean, for example, you might not have done anything. I spent the entire night having a chill out and just playing Baldur's Gate with Natalie, which is my missus. What about you guys? What did you guys get up to?
Go on, Will. You go first.
Sat in the house with my missus, and we did my other hobby, which is played records. We just played about on the decks for a few hours. Brought the chimes in, and then just went to bed. We went to bed about 3, I suppose. It was good though. It was nice and chilled. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because we're sort of back at work tomorrow, so we didn't want to go too mental or anything like that. But what about you, Dave? You have a good one?
We sort of had people around, had a bit of a house party and dinner party, and that kind of went from 4 till about 3. So it was quite a long day. But when we were drinking coffee tequila by 4 o'clock from about 10 past 4. So and then I made about 100 espresso martinis over the course of the evening. So it got a bit, it was pretty heavy. We've got a bit of a running joke. My brother-in-law always managed. He's a pretty high flying lawyer. he always smashes glasses at my house. It's only at my house that it happens, and there's a bit of a running joke of it. But then he always does it. And last night he knocked one of our really nice kind of like these coupe glasses for cocktails off the side, and it didn't break. And he came in and he was like, "Yes, I win." Went and sat back down, leant over and smashed the glass. So we were like, it was yeah, it was a good laugh. We had good fun. Bit tired today, but yeah, good way to see in 2025.
Yeah, so
Nice.
and we'll have a quick check-in with the chat. Hello, everybody that's coming. Already getting some support from the guys. Phil Gagnon, thank you so much for coming to play Green, mate. So again, if you enjoy the content, do leave a like and a subscribe. It helps the channel. If you really like the content, consider becoming a Play Green. You get access to our Discord. You got a giveaway that's currently going on for a custom-made shirt by a professional designer who basically designs for people for WWE. So that is a current giveaway you can enter. So make sure if you are a Play Green, you go to our community tab on the YouTube homepage. Find a link to join the Discord, get on in there, and then get involved in all the stuff. And also, thank you very much to Derp with a $20 super chat with his classic throwing up face there.
There you go. He approves. There you go. I've got my little friends.
Hey.
Playing a tournament, they had some of these in stock, so I thought I've got to get a couple.
Oh yeah, you got to get some of them. And obviously, hello to everyone else that is in the chat, and hopefully you guys all had a great New Year. Someone said did some Jack and Cokes last night. I'm going to hope that's Coca-Cola and not the other kind of Coke. Went broke buying World Eaters and Defilers to start the year off. That is a commitment. But hell yeah, go for it.
Not 2025.
But yeah, hopefully you guys all had a great time. So gents, what's on the agenda? I almost said the gander for tonight. That's the wrong word.
That's fine. You can say that word. That's fine. That could be the new word for 2025. Yeah,
2025.
Bit of Cockney rhyming slang. Well, I think as we discussed before, we've already got 52 people in watching, which is great to see you all. Yeah, we just think this is going to be a much more just a bit of a chilled out chat and a catch up. I mean, it's New Year's Day. Will went to bed at 3. I went to bed at 3, and Aidan probably went to bed at 3 after playing.
Yes, actually, yes, it was 3 o'clock still.
So yeah, we're just gonna. This is a bit more of just a chilled out chat, really, I think. And Will, what were some of the topics we wanted to cover?
I think there's a few things. I mean, so I'm a bit concerned for the state of chaos and who will or will not get codexes in 2025, because we know Emperor's Children are coming. So I think the odds of Emperor's Children, World Eaters, and Death Guard and Thousand Sons all coming in 2025 are next to nothing. I think at least one, if not two of us, are going to get pushed to 2026. We had a bit of backwards and forth, but we can obviously have that discussion on the chat. This is just based on theory and looking at like previous trends and knowing how much is coming. So it's not based on any insider knowledge or anything, but it's more as a kind of, do we need to sort of set some realistic expectations for ourselves? Hopefully, we mentioned in a previous episode, I did hear some rumours at a UKTC that someone had a Death Guard Codex leak and plagued me to go full melee, full shoot him. But in the same way, these are just rumours that someone tell me first. For example, I could say now, I heard a rumour that Will is the best guy in the world. My mate told me, he told the mate, and he told me, so I must be the best guy in the world.
It's on Best Tactics, so it's true.
There you go. Yeah, it's on a podcast now, so it must definitely be true. So, got to take this with a pinch of salt, but I do think the fact that Emperor's Children, because Emperor's Children, they're not going to release Fulgrim on Christmas Day as they did, and not follow through in 2025. I think that stock's obviously being manufactured. It's probably in the warehouse, and they're definitely going to get it out.
Yep.
So I think, realistically, it'll be Emperor's Children and one other of the Power Armored guys, and I think probably 2026 is when the other ones are coming. Because we also know, because Aidan brought valid points to chat about, like, what is it? Imperial Guard and Next, and we've got the Knights books, but the rate that GW are releasing them, those 2 books alone, they might not be, that might be like May even. So by the time we get to the end of the year, I am a bit concerned that all 4 of the God-specific factions, if they'll get their books, I think at least one will be pushed to 2026, because you've got to remember, last edition, Imperial Guard with the last book, pretty much came out like 2 or 3 months before they reset the edition. So they do that. Hopefully we won't be, but I think, everyone getting sort of expectations on this being in 2025. There's no guarantee. There's never been any official announcement from GW. We've all been assuming, but the Emperor's Children on Christmas Day set off a bit of a red flag in my mind. So I am a bit I'm still hopeful. I still think it's more likely that we will than we won't, but I think it's something for us to sort of to be aware of and sort of but it's all we're going to find out the same way. Are we going to find out if demons have gone, yay or nay? But before we move on to other topics, what does everyone think of Fulgrim? I'm a big fan. What did you guys think of you? I know some people do and don't like the face.
Face I can take or leave, but I think overall the model's good. I don't think it's for me. It would rank probably like Morty's first by like a mile. Obviously, no bias there. I actually think I might have Magnus in last. I've never liked Magnus as like a design.
I think Angon's second for me.
Yeah, I think I can put, if I was to make like a tier list, I'd have like Morty. I actually put Angon and Fulgrim like on the same. I think they're both like equal coolness to me, and Magnus is straight last for me. But it's a cool model. I like it. I especially like the ripped open like stomach.
Yeah, the
like,
detail's really good.
It's disgusting. Yeah. It's excessive. Well, that's kind of the point. And just very quickly as well, thank you very much to Daniel Strom for the 5 gifted memberships. Really appreciate it. If you did just get gifted, want to make sure to say thank you to Daniel there. More Nurgling to celebrate the new year, 100%. And your average paramedic. There is no such thing as an average paramedic. You are a legend and a hero just for being a paramedic. And thank you very much for the $20 super chat for plague hugs for all in 2025. You are a paramedic. Probably shouldn't be giving people plague hugs. Sanitized hugs is what you should be giving. Well, thank you so much, mate. But yeah, going back to go about Fulgrim. Yeah, so I think it's a cool model. I like it. Just the face of it weird. I think I'd actually go with the helmeted option for that one personally.
Yeah, I'm helmeted.
I would. Yeah.
But overall, I mean, we knew it was kind of going to look like because we'd seen that in the Horus Heresy. But it's just like the Horus Heresy one, but even more corrupted and more on the demonic side than the Primarch side, which I think is cool. And I think I would, if I was an Emperor's Children player, I would be happy to have that as my Primarch.
Yeah, I think he's the second best looking.
Yeah.
No, I was just
going to add to what you guys are saying about. I think regardless of what you think about the faces, I like the fact that they put in. Was it 6?
4, I think.
Four
Yes, but
heads,
even so, that's 4 options for you to kind of then choose that what you want. So I think that's a nice starting point for
have either of you seen the meme that someone's made with the Zoolander blue steel?
Yes,
there's
someone literally just said it in the chat.
There's an even better one which I shared into the Vanguard Tactics chat, which is the Count from Sesame Street.
Oh God.
It's so good.
It's like counting his arms, like 1,
He's like 9. So it was good. And the other thing I was going to say, going back to your original bit, Will, as well, was Christos in chat said, the one thing GW have been doing though is touting that it's going to be a massive year for Chaos.
But they always tout it's going to be a massive year. I remember, was it the last time it was a massive year for Chaos? They released like 2 Chaos books and like. They always do this. It's going to be the massive year of. And at the end of the year, everyone's like, "I thought it was going to be the year of," and then it's like, "It was the year of. We gave you 2 books," and it's like, it's like 6.
But imagine if what happened was that they went month after month. They just went bang, 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 bang. There you go.
Hear me out. Okay, this is the theory. Okay, so we knew Emperor's Children coming. That's going to be like their big release 2025. So that's going to be one huge chaos. They've already announced that we'll see World Eaters next in World Easter, which someone in the chat has also pointed out, and that was from their own article. So that could be when we see the World Eaters Codex. The question is, when the books come out, we obviously know EC are going to get like a range, whether it'll be like extensive like our range or more like a World Eaters Thousands range, but they're going to get some unique models. It's not just going to be characters, they're going to get some units. Now, with us, we pretty much know we're probably just going to get a character. We can pretty much safely say that. We're probably going to want small releases. And then World Eaters potentially could be another big release because they're kind of waiting on a couple more units. Now, that's the thing is, that to me kind of solidifies that Death Guard should be getting one this year because we're going to be a small release. So we'll just be probably slotted in somewhere. So the fight's going to be between us and Thousand Suns, really, for the spot. I mean, I'm pretty positive anyway that we're going to get it this year. I'm going to stay on team positivity, but I understand why you say what you say, Will. And you
the other solution is this. Look, here it is. Here's the Chaos Codex. It's all in one single bumper edition.
Oh, they better not. I think the other thing that we will also find on Easter, which will also kind of maybe back up my point, if Demon, because people seem to now be assuming the Demons are being split out, but if Demons are getting a book, I don't think they'll release Demons, Chaos Knights.
I
think if Demons get a book, I think it's almost certainly 2 power factions in 2026, because they won't do that. That would be a year of chaos with Chaos Knights, World Eaters, Emperor's Children, and Demons. Yeah. Which would be sad news for us, unless of course we're the other one and Demons. But I don't know. We'll find out. It was more just when Fulgrim dropped us a penny, something just clicked to me, and I was like, oh no, we're not. This might not be as good for us as we hoped, especially if World Eaters are released confirmed for Easter. But you never know. I mean, GW are a funny company, aren't they? Like in terms of like a good business model, you would think that like your target market for Emperor's Children is people who are already invested in the Chaos side of the game. So fair play, you release Chaos Space means way in advance, so they've got their stuff and they're ready to buy again. The God specific ones, admittedly, kind of generally loyal, but you'd think you'd want to release it and then leave a big gap, so someone's like, oh, I'm sick of waiting. Stuff it, I'll buy them, or do you know what I mean? You'd think that's what a good business model would be, but GW makes so many weird business decisions that they might do Emperor's Children then back to back, each per arm each one. So they don't sell hardly any models. they just sell codexes. But I mean, it's an interesting one. I think it's something to highlight and a discussion point, but it's nothing more than a discussion point. It's just a prediction or a concern is probably a better way to put it, rather than we don't have any information other than what's publicly been shared.
I mean, I think just very quickly to answer some questions in the chat. So Van Destroy is asking, do we know if demons get a book? So realistically, we don't actually know anything. Nobody knows anything. For me,
World Eaters will be the telling Easter. I think.
Yeah, the first God Codex comes out will probably answer it. But for me personally, if I put a detective cap on right now, my money would be on the not getting a Codex, because they've just got 4 index detachments plus the base ones. They've got 5 detachments right now. What else can go in a Codex possibly? That I don't see it working, and I think the reason they've done that is to tide them over and sort of give them something to play with. And then when they announce the first World Eaters Codex or whatever, they're mixing the demons. They're like, oh, but don't worry, demon players, you've still got detachments, so you can still play as a solo army if you want to. But heads up, guys, because they did it for Age of Sigmar with Beastmen. They were like, just beware, guys, Beastmen are being taken away from AOS, but we're going to make you with this book, this downloadable codex that you can use for a year and a half. And then after that, you're not getting supported, so they give you a heads up. Now, I don't think they're going to say you're not getting supported at all. I think it'll be a case of you're being rolled into God specifics, but the reality is we don't know. GW haven't confirmed that they're getting one or not getting one, but sometimes silence can also be deafening, because if everyone was panicking, that's going to stop people buying models. If you were a company, again, as Will said, the logical thing would be to go, no, guys, chill out, you are getting a book, keep buying your models, don't worry about it, if you were getting it, because obviously you can't say that and lie to people, because that gets any good grace you have and burns it very quickly. So I honestly think the silence is a bit deafening.
No smoke without fire, is it? Because apparently these are leaks that have come from play testers. I mean, whether they really are or aren't, we don't actually know. Because I also sometimes suspect that GW start their own. It's like those old potato cam sort of photos used to pop up. It's like they're so consistent. It's blatantly someone at GW doing that and then feeding it to someone and making it look like it was a leak. I always felt that was very purposeful. So maybe they've deliberately started the rumor to sort of set it up, but at the same time, GW also don't seem that organised or sort of forward thinking as a company. So it could just be that player testers seem to be as leaky as sieves. So it could just be that it's come from the player testers. But anyway, there's no smoke without fire is the other side of the argument. Like it's been talked about so regularly in so many different places. It had to have started somewhere. But yeah, I mean, we'll find out soon, won't we?
Heath Wargaming, great to see you gents at the RTT at Element Saturday. My lad liked the raffle prize I chose. Which one did you choose, Heath? Because I left just before the prizes because I wanted to get home for a bit more. It was a pleasure to meet you too, mate. Have a good chat with you. Hopefully, did he get the? I'm gonna guess he took the burrito prize. That's my guess.
I think he took the swords. I think he took the.
Okay. That's also a great prize to take home to you kids. You too, lad. Fair play. So just join as a member, miss if you said anything, because I got pulled away for a call. So if you are a member, go to our YouTube channel homepage, go to the community tab, scroll down a few posts, you'll find a link to join our Discord. Once you're in our Discord, just make sure you go to the rules page, react to the rules posts, just to basically say, yes, I won't be a dick. And then everything will unlock for you. And then just go to your settings, connect to your YouTube to your Discord, and you'll get all the member benefits, and you'll be able to enter giveaways, all that kind of stuff there, which is really cool. Now, let's have a quick chat, because one thing we wanted to talk about is the retrospective. So this year has been a bit mad, in general. Books have come out, power's gone up and down, Sisters destroyed the game, got nerfed to hell, something else destroyed the game, Necrons destroyed the game. It's been a crazy year, and from where we started in 10th edition, though, we can't sit here and really complain, can we, guys? We've had a quite a
it's
good
good.
year, and in general, for people that don't know, when have you been playing since, Dave? Again, I can't remember.
So I started middle of ninth is when
Middle of
I joined
ninth.
weekly.
I know, Will, you've been playing since like before 8th, haven't you?
No, just right at the end of 8.
Was it
Like,
end of
I
8th?
call it like right at the tail end of 8, and then
Right.
sort of all of 9th. And
So I've been playing Death Guard as soon as they came out in 8th, and I was playing Green CSM Nurgle in 7th. But I can tell you, we can all agree now from chatting before, this is, no matter the state of Death Guard, this is the most competitive Death Guard has ever been. Like, Death Guard historically has been a almost meme level army. Just the deep for Death Guard was the joke. Like, whereas right now, Death Guard is actually something you had to be concerned about, had to be scared about. And I think that's actually a really cool thing to look back on the year that we've had. We have never seen Death Guard win as many events as they have in this past year. So being a Death Guard player right now is just awesome because, and I feel like generally, and this is one thing I want to sort of praise a little bit on GW folks, we do rag on a lot of stuff. We do rag on quite a bit. And it's a new year, that's trying to be positive. We rag on about balance and all this stuff and silly decisions, and they make silly decisions. They do all this nonsense, maybe it's for sales, maybe it's whatever. But in general, I think this edition up to this point has had the most like variety of factions that have won an event, and we should probably commend them for that. Like they do change a lot of stuff all the time. And I understand that can be frustrating, but in terms of making sure every faction sort of has a chance, I feel like they're doing an okay job at that. So
yeah,
I'm happy with the state of Death Guard currently, and then obviously we've had some extra things given to us recently. I know Dave wanted to talk about being the new detachment we've kind of given to us to sort of tide us over. So what did you want to talk about on that one, Mr. Dave?
I just think I just want to build on what we were a little bit beforehand was more your experiences. I think because you've I've played it and in a casual and then on stream with Stephen Box. Then I played a game with Back Into Play Company and was like, oh wow, that was like a real quite soon after to get the feeling of the differences between them. But obviously, you made the foolish commitment of going 4-1 at a GT with it. So then obviously taking it to the RTT is I was just kind of keen that even outside of your video retrospective you've just done, which by the way, guys, if you want to know about seeing Flyblown in a relatively big event, do go and watch Aiden's most recent video. But more just don't go too in depth about it now, Aiden. But like, what's your kind of gut feel about Flyblown now? Like, is it competitive?
I think I was a bit harsh on it at first on the initial impressions. It's very different. It is extremely different. You have to play it completely differently. But in terms of competitiveness, I think it's probably got better legs in teams than in singles, because you can just get some bad matchups like melee rushdown can really give you trouble. Yeah. But I think generally, I think 4-1 is doable. You can definitely get a winning record. You can definitely go 3-2 with it. But it's such a different playstyle to play company. I don't think everyone will like it. I think it's going to be like a Marmite detachment. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I've gone from hating it to actually be like, the word I'd use is I respect it. I respect you. I don't particularly like you, but I respect you.
We don't have to be friends.
Yeah, we don't have to be friends, but we have to at least get along. So I will be trying to do the 4-1. I did make the promise, so that will be something I will be doing. But it's growing on me a little bit, and there's some fun things. And when you do make a cool play, especially with 6-inch piling, it does feel good. And at the end of the day, it's a different way to play the army that feels different and uses different units. Epsilon, what about in terms of funness and flavour? Okay, so if you want to kill stuff, do not play Flyblown.
Don't play.
You do not kill many things. If you want to be smashing people to pieces and murder and stuff, then do not play Flyblown. If you want to play the thinking man's game and real, one thing I would say it's really good for, it really makes you focus on primary and secondary, because it matters way more than stuff like trading and killing. And it also teaches you to also be a bit ballsier, and it's really good for threat overload, because you can't slow feed stuff. You just have to be here's the wall. So there is a. So it's gonna sound so bad. During the event, I felt kind of bad when I put my opponent in Poxwalker jail, and again, I charged his tank, dealt no damage. He shot me, dealt no damage. And it felt kind of bad. But then the more I've been thinking about it afterwards, this sick little part of my head up here actually enjoyed it in a weird way because of the misery of my opponent. Because
it's a you kind of attachment. It's a you kind of detachment though, because you have to no disrespect to even myself the way I play it, but you like to play a more thinking version of of Death Guard, and you like, the term you always use is toolbox, and this has got, with the things like the 6-inch pylon and consolidates, with the ability to use strats to get -1 to wound using positioned light haulers, and and this, are you going to scout? Are you not going to scout? If you do, what's that going to do for you? That all kind of feels a bit more kind of that as a, you might not prefer it, but it still is a bit more you, I think.
Yeah,
Than it is probably for me, or I wouldn't talk for Will, but certainly from my side, I think.
I could see that. Like you said, I think when I did manage to see something and like something popped up, like there was a really cool moment where I had Death Shroud locked in combat with a Death Dread, 8 Beast Snagger, also like 4 Beast Snagger Boys and a Beast Boss, and I was like, okay, if I can get out of this, I can then do a double. I can then charge this unit of Mega Knobs, which will then I can charge with a lot of Contagion, which will then allow them to do the 6-inch slingshot onto his home objective. But I was like, okay, but how do I get out of this? So I was like, okay, Typhus tries to kill the Death Dread, that worked, and I was like, okay, I'm going to spend a CP to do the pistol stratagem, so my Psyker can shoot his damage 3. I'll shoot the Flamer Pistols first from a Death Shroud to kill all the boys. The Psyker then goes into the War Boss, kills him, and then that allows them to declare a charge and make the sort of cap happen. I was like, that was really cool. I was like, that actually worked out. I'm super happy, and I was like buzzing at that one. So there is like little plays there, but it's not as obvious. Like if that was just play company, like let's be honest, I wouldn't even be in combat with the boys of the Death Dread. They'd all be dead.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I mean, I'm yet to try it, to be honest, because I'm. So the way I've been sort of thinking about this is I like to kind of have like a list concept and then just stick to that list concept until I feel I've perfected it within for my playstyle what I'm happy with. So I'm still obsessed with Death Shrouds and Mortarion and trying to make that work. And I think I'm close to a sweet spot now. I think
nice.
I think the last couple of games I've had have sort of picked that up. But Flyblown, I haven't got to it yet. That'll be the next one. Just something to sort of do and keep thinking about things. I don't see why. I don't know if Morty has a place in it. I know people are just taking Morty almost, I feel, out of instinct at the moment because he's so cheap. I just feel like you put knights in. I feel like that detachment to me is looking at like 2 or 3 brigands. Like it just, to me, it just screams 2 or 3 brigands because they don't need any detachment buff. They've got loads of AP. They give you the shooting that you're missing, and I think it makes it a very different game where you're kind of putting people on the clock in the sense of you've got all this tanky stuff chewing up the mid board, but the brigands are killing stuff. So it's like, well, do you shoot the brigands or do you shoot the Death Shroud? Because Death Shroud might not be a problem now, but they are coming, and the AP2 is still enough in combat to be meaningful. And the Poxwalkers you can't ignore. I mean, admittedly, it's different guns kill Poxwalkers, but yeah. I don't know. I mean, when I look at it, that's what I look and I see. I think it needs knights. I think
there's still a lot of room for experimenting and trying stuff, and I think knights is probably an angle you can have a look at as well. Very quickly for Phil Gagnon in chat. So that is not the rule anymore. That was a rule last edition. That rule is gone. You can attack anything. The difference is you can't finish in engagement range if you didn't charge, but if you are able to pile into them and attack, you're more than able to swing at that unit. That's a bit. Some people still think you can't do that because that was the case last edition, but that has changed this edition. So you are able to do that this time. And Hugh Janus, for him, Flyblown just looks really boring. Extra room for Death Guard detachment just didn't land for my imagination. That's fine, mate. And I think I personally have more fun with Play Company. But again, the one thing we've got to remember is this is an addition to our codex. So when our codex does come out, we are still going to get like 4 or some new detachments in there, which will be quite nice for us to have a play around, which is pretty cool.
Definitely.
But I mean, yeah, I think overall, I think I'll keep trying to play Flyblown. Play Company's probably where my heart's still at. I think it's just more fun in general. But at the same time, like we say on this channel, we always keep we put our money where our mouth is. We make sure we test the things that we talk about. We don't just make a nonsense video at armies we don't play and make assumptions about stuff. We talk about what we think, and we're also happy to say, hey, I was wrong. Like, this thing has more legs than I thought. I'm happy to say that because you know what? A detachment actually being good that I thought wasn't going to be good, that's not a bad thing. Like, that's more than happy. But one thing I wanted to talk about today, and a big one, and because obviously the fella's only got an hour today because obviously commitments and whatnot. Looking forward to the next year, we're not going to talk about the upcoming meta and whatnot because we've done that plenty in other videos. I want to get into the juicy stuff that people want to hear, and that is, what would you love to see for Death Guard in 2025?
Codex specific or just things in general relating to Death Guard?
Whatever you want. Codex specific would obviously be the most interesting, more likely. But you go to town with whatever you want.
All right, we'll do one and pass it, and then someone else can do one and then pass it, and we'll just keep
Okay,
going.
yeah. Do like a round robin for a bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
I would like to see. I think I'd like. We've talked about it before, but I think I'd like to see some kind of anti-vehicle infantry unit. That's like an entropy like devastator squad or something, or
Okay.
'cause I think I'd like the option on that, particularly if. And obviously we don't, we say this all the time. We have no inkling or insight on what's being released or where. Everything we say is conjecture. But if it feels like if the Flyblown is kind of potentially a hint at Death Guard being, or there being more infantry options, whether that's a Terminus S-Dex kind of thing or supported. Yeah, I think it'd be good to see some kind of giving us some kind of other anti-tank without having to bring in. Not without having to bring in allies or relying on kind of predators with no involves, things like that. So that's one of the things I'd like to see.
Yeah, I mean, that's been one we've
Go on,
wanted for a while. No, I just agree with Dave. Like, I want to see Entrepreneurs get a little bit of a buff as well. Please put them to even if it's strength 11, because it means that putting contagion onto those battle tanks, which are T11 and T12. You don't have to put them to strength 12 if you really don't want them to be las cannons. That's fine, but at least put them to 11 because it makes there's certain breakpoints which then it really rewards you for getting in contagion range. I'd love to see an infantry unit akin to Havocs, but with our entropy weapons, of maybe an option of them having heavy blight launches as well and things like that. That would be cool. So do you want to go for it, Will? My headset's just died, so I'm gonna find my charger real quick.
No, so just to follow on from your sort of expansion on different. There is a really easy way for them to do it as well. Now, this is what I'd like to see them do. Because realistically, they're not going to give us any new units of a character, but they could just put the Vindicator in our codex. Yeah. If they did that simple fix, an existing model, they'll sell more kits. They could do it with the Forge Fiend too, although they tend not to like the other one to have them. But if either of them came into our book, I think that they would be big help to us. They'd sell more kits and they don't have to do anything. So that would be just to expand on Dave's point. But my own one. And this is a cat amongst the pigeons one, because it's not what everyone wants, but from a very selfish point of view, so I want. I would like Nurgle Demons and Death Guard to be in one book. This is that's my.
I agree.
I know it's shit for Demons players. With mixed gods.
We've said this before that we don't. We don't want to see
very
something bad happen. But I agree with you, Will.
Yeah, so that's my wish list. As much as it's shit for the people, it would be good for me. So I'm gonna look after number one this year. What about you, Aidan? Have you got any?
So I think very quickly on the, I would, honestly, like you said, on a selfish point, having Nurgle Demons put into our book, and then I also want them to, if they do get put in our book, I want them to have rules that actually work with us, because you can treat us as one army then, which would be nice. Because
keyword.
Yeah, just don't keyword it to this only works on Nurgle Demonica, this only works on Nurgle Mortalis.
You've got to be led by a Daemon Prince or something like that.
Yeah, let it act as one, which would be nice.
Don't lock out units.
Yeah, don't lock out units, which would be nice to see. Because then the problem is in the Demon book, if you want to go more on Nurgle, I think it can get a bit boring. You've not got many options of units. Whereas when you can mix it with the Death Guard more often and have the stuff between them synergize, that'd be quite nice to see. So, I agree. As for I do feel bad for Chaos Demon players if that does happen. Obviously, I used to be a Demon player as well. I would be more than happy to have them folded in and rules designed around them being part of our book, which would be nice. As for myself, I would like. So, there's a few things. I want to see an army rule rework. Personally, I like contagions. I do. The problem is -1 toughness is just not exciting or interesting. And when I was playing Flyblown Host, especially in Play Company, it's very interesting. It's very powerful. But you are actively thinking about it all the time. You're trying to spread it, trying to get things. I'll advance a Rhino to get to put contagion on a unit to line up a Predator to shoot it. In Flyblown Host, you don't care. You just don't care. Cool, you're in contagion. Who cares? So changing it to have either the additional effects, and I don't think you can realistically put the Play Company effects on the baseline army rule, because that's probably way too strong. But I just -1 toughness as an aura is okay, and it's nice against infantry, but it just doesn't have the impact against the tougher units, and it just doesn't feel like an exciting army rule. It's Oath is pick some that's dying this turn. Miracle Dice, even though I think they're ridiculous bullshit, they shouldn't exist, they still like a mechanic for them to play around with. Gene Stealer Cult's coming back, Tal like picking stuff to focus fire down. I want some a bit more like you look at the World Eater's Blood Blessing table, they get make decisions, like a reward for their entire army. Ours just feels a little bit static, a little bit. It's from the past, isn't it? Like, you've played 9th edition where it actually was more impactful because toughness was kind of capped at like 8 for tanks normally, like toughness 8, toughness 7 with your tanks. So -1 there made a big difference. In the current edition, it just doesn't carry its weight. So I don't know what the answer is, but I would like them to go on.
I was going to interject just to quickly say, so do you want to see, if it'd be one or the other, I don't think either will come back. Would you rather have the 5-up feel no pain army wide or the -1 damage back? Because one of those would both be pretty good. I'm sure we would all like to see one.
That's
or
the
the
question.
other. I think at this point they're not going to do that. But
I'll see your own question.
What would you rather? I think the 5-up feel no pain is. Well, at the moment, actually, there's so much too damage in the game. -1 damage is probably better at the moment.
I would take -1 damage.
Yeah, but 5-up feel no pain is. I mean, it depends what you're shooting in it, really. But yeah, -1 damage probably is my answer.
That's fair, I think.
Yeah, I think I would kind of do the same.
I think I'd personally go 5-up feel no pain only because -1 damage is a flat thing. It just happens, and it is very good. It probably is better overall. And I don't really want to roll that many Feel No Pain, so I probably don't. Realistically, I probably don't want any of them back. But at the same time, there was something special about when you spike a 5-up Feel No Pain roll and just see the soul in your opponent's eyes just die. That was kind of funny, and I do miss that sometimes. But for the sake of making the game quick and easy, if they did come back, I probably would prefer the -1 just because it's.
It could actually make our whole army rule a bit easier if it was just it just said minus everything.
just no.
Save, ballistic skill, weapon skill, toughness, movement, advance.
I think they should port something from EOS in this. I think I said this in the chat previously. Because in EOS, I have a rule where they used to have a rule in. It was Nurgle, I'm sure it's in Lord to them now in the last edition, where opponents had to re-roll 6s. So now you hit a 1, so your opponent's swinging at you and they roll a 6, they have to re-roll the 6s. I think there was even a way you can make them have to re-roll 5s and 6s. So you can make so say like their lethal hits 2 on 6s, you have to re-roll all the lethal hits. I think that's quite a good debuff because it still keeps things quite efficient, but it stops armies like sort of exploding in your face. And I think that would be an interesting thing for them to sort of port over and to try. Maybe that's one of the detachments. Maybe it's within Contagion. Opponents have to re-roll, the roll of a 6.
Yeah.
And because I think it's in hit and wound as well. So it's like I say, it's one of those things where it's surprising how much it nullifies an army. So I think that might be something they could try. I mean, they could also make the Death Shroud rule army-wide, like Nurgle CSM had last edition. But that might be too strong as well. I don't know. That might be one of these things where if it's on every unit all the time, it might be a bit much, especially if it was in every phase.
I mean, for one thing, I'd like to see him do is because there's 2 ways to go with like Nurgle now, and I like the debilitation route that we've had to play around with for a bit. Like making people worse into us, but not just like for free passive. It's like you do stuff to them to make them worse. I'd love to see like a character or something get an ability where you pick an enemy unit and you rust all its weapons so they lose like an AP on them all. That'd be really cool to see. But cool, like your AP 2 melee weapons are now AP 1 because I've rusted the blades so they're not as like sharp and stuff. So anything like that's gonna like reward playing around and doing clever things. I'd be happy with in general. I'd also like the AOS mechanic where I don't know if you've seen the recent one. It's like every
one where you get the plague counters.
And at the end of every turn, you roll dice equal to the plague counters on that unit, and every 4-up's a mortal wound, and then the plague counters are like removed for each one that pops. So it's like you're growing boils on them, and then they burst and like deal damage, which is really nice. I don't know. I want to play around with the themes of like disease and like pestilence and like making people worse more, and like punishing people like grouping up. And that'd be really nice, like having like an ability that deals like mortal wounds to someone, and then like if there's anyone else nearby to them, it can chain, and if anyone's near to them, it can chain. So then it can like it punishes people for like stacking loads of like little MS units behind walls because everyone loves wall humping these days. So just fun things like that. I think we do need some data slates reworked. So that's my next question for you guys. if you could pick a data slate from our army, let's try not copy each other. What would you want? Which unit would you want reworked? And do you have any ideas of how to fix the unit or what is wrong with the unit that they need to fix?
I just want to chuck one more wish in to, which is that going along the route debilitation thing, it should be anytime anyone wants to make a reactive move or a movement out of engagement range with us on a 4-up, it fails.
Oh, I would love to screw up. I hate reactive move. I would love to that.
If it's in contagion range or in engagement range, it has to and it wants to either fall back or it wants to, do a reactive move because we moved into it. That on a 4-up it fails, just because it's an easy rule that could apply to every army in the game that we play against.
Yeah,
it's an easy 4-up is a simple thing to understand, and it's thematic because it's like buzzing flies and like you say plague and stuff stopping them being able to do it.
Yeah, not being I'd like an Expel advance back as well. Not being
we've been chatting about the chat. I think that should absolutely be a rule. I think you should not be able to modify Death Guard's movement in any way.
Yeah. So before we go on to the data sets, because this one I don't think would be a data set, so I don't want to sort of put it in. Poxwalkers going back to battle line. I think that's a simple straight up one.
I own 120. They're painted. Give me a reason to get them back out.
I've got I've got more than that.
So
102 people watching.
Oh, hey! Thank you very much. Don't forget to hit that like button. I know it sounds daft. It only takes you a second to hit that little thumbs up, and it helps way more than you actually think. So if you could just scroll down and press that little button, I'd really appreciate it. You'd be the best. You'd be the best Nurgling ever. Let's have a very, very quick check in what some of the chat would like to see back. So we had some people saying they would like the female pain back. Some people saying they wouldn't like it back. We got some people saying that people want stuff like Possessed and stuff back in the army. I would actually like Possessed back. Yes, that would be very cool. There is no reason we shouldn't have Possessed. Like our guys still get Possessed.
They released the flipping new model kit like around a month after doing that. It's like, do you not want to sell models? Unless that's our next release, and we've got an £8 equivalent like a plague bound.
Plague obliterators as well.
Parzival said
to put in our book as well. Yeah,
they could like Vindicators. They could just go straight in.
Parzival said, what about if you got to pick one unit per turn that's in contagion range and then picking an effective play company to put on that unit? That's not too bad. So you can pick one unit in the contagion. It stops it being as powerful as play company, but gives you that flexibility. There's someone asked, is there a chance to add reroll saves and army roll? I'm just going to shut that down and say no. Only because it's not insulting. Reroll saves is probably the most powerful rule in the game.
I could see them saying reroll ones. But
maybe
then there might have to be a caveat on Terminators.
Yeah,
Terminators being shot with DOAP and cover, they're never going to die.
So just to say why this is so broken, we had a phase in 7th edition where you could get a 3-up invulnerable save, re-rolling 1s, and you could only be hit on 6s. Like, this was a thing. Fun. It was, and it exactly was not that, Dave. It was exactly not fun.
I bet when people run with that list, I said they were the most skillful player in the game as well. Loads of skill in that, mate.
Yeah, so good.
Instagram for the one gifted membership. Thank you so much for the gifted membership. Really appreciate the ongoing support. Congrats, Ronin Arch, for the gifted membership there. So I mean, let's go for the actual data set. So Dave, do you want to kick us off then?
Yeah. What would I like to see reworked? I think. I'm going to go for the big one. I'm going to go for. I want Morty to have 7 attacks and 21 attacks back, and I want him to have 2 damage on the sweep.
It makes no sense. The lion sword is 2 damage. Our scythe is literally the size of the lion.
The blade is 10 feet long. It's a demon-infused scythe being wielded by a giant flying demon Primarch. It should just smash what it hits.
I will take a caveat that is damage 1 as long as that profile also gets sustained hits with 21 attacks. So it is like if a horde comes near me, I will reap the tally bad.
You do not charge a load of termaguns into Morty. You don't charge it. Yeah, whatever it is, because he'll just sweep it away like a scythe should do. Just cut down the corn.
Yeah, like true story. I played a little RTT over Christmas, and Morty on 2 occasions could not kill an Armiger. One time the Armiger had 7 wounds when Morty charged it. He rolled 2 1s to hit, and when he rolled his wound, he had reroll 1s up. He just rolled 2s.
Yeah. So my final game, Dave.
The saddest thing.
Yeah.
My final game, Will. When I was against the Admech guy, and he had his Admech transport, which is just 3-up save, and I'd shot it down to 5 wounds. I was hoping to get to 4, and I double charged it with the things. He was like, I'll swing it with Mortarion. He went, I'll just pick it up, and I was like, don't. And he was like, why? I was like, because it's not guaranteed I'm going to kill it. He was like, you're Primarch. I was like, yeah, but I've got to get 2 wounds through. I was like, Snozzy, you should think. Thankfully, he did, but yeah, I understand. It's. I'm sick of our Primarch hitting like a noodle. He should hit like a Primarch.
I missed D3. I missed D3+3.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, he should just do D6. He should have the same damage output as at least a Carnivore. Should be D6+2 damage at least on each of his attacks.
Yeah,
Seven at D6+2 damage.
The Demon Primarchs with maybe Angron being the only like the one that's the melee like outlier, it should be pretty similar in their damage outputs.
Yeah, Angron should be. Angron should be fucking like.
Yeah, Morty should be the tankiest. Angron should be the heaviest hitter. Like Magnus should be the fastest. You know, like.
Oh no, Fulgrim's probably the fastest.
Fulgrim will be the fastest. But I mean, yeah,
but
Magnus
should be
the
probably the
shootiest.
hardest shooter.
Yeah. So, but within that, then the offensive output though is pretty middled with Angron being the outlier, right? Like that would be and then Magnus is the outlier on magic, and
that makes sense.
Magnus hitting
Magnus
harder in
is the-
combat is the most criminal thing I've ever seen.
it's
Hits
one of the
harder
most
in
galling
combat. He
things.
shoots harder, and he's actually more durable.
Yeah,
Like
and he moves faster.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I don't know. That's a whole other can of worms, though, isn't it? So I'll do the Plague Burst Crawler. I think I've said this on previous episodes, but for me, the Plague Burst Crawler is a really, really easy fix, and I'm surprised I haven't. Well, I haven't done it because we've got to codex to do it. T11 instantly. It's gun. It's just make it a last cannon. Just make it a last cannon with lethal hits, like the end cannons. I mean, and that's probably all it needs. Make it, like I say, just T11 would make such a big difference on that profile, and then the last like the guns actually being usable. Maybe he's even heavy on them as well. That might be another one. But like, you know, without any of that being wishlisting, I don't think that any of that's unreasonable. I think you keep it the same points, give it that now, and it's fine. And I'm surprised at GW. If we don't get our codex this year, I would like them to at least address 2 or 3 of the data sheets, that being one of them, and just do, because there's 2 really reasonable, simple little fixes. It's a last cannon with lethal hits, banging, we've got the range, nothing else, and then your T11, so actually you are a little bit tougher, and yeah. So
And
I think
180 points, it's totally valid.
yeah, that's it. Then that way at 180 points. Even then, you'd still question, is it worth 180? But at that point, you're a lot closer to yes than.
Yeah.
I'd
Or
like to see the rule on it as well.
Actually.
I'd like to see the rule we worked on it as well. Like forcing battle shock test is cute, but I'd rather it just do some like strip cover, or or just slow people. If it just slows people, I'll take that effect over like
that'd be
the battle
amazing.
shock, because the battle shock it's cute, but it's not great. Like
Yeah.
I count my hand how many times. I mean, I've played so many events and games, and I've counted my hands the amount of times it's actually come up. I just ignore it most of the time. It doesn't have a rule to me. The only time it comes up is when my opponent goes to do something. I go, oh, actually, you should have took 3 battle shock tests. You just take them for me real quickly, because that's how impactful it is. So yeah, but I agree that T11, that thing should be tougher than a Predator. It's like it. Have you seen the shield? I get it has the 2-up save. Yes, I get that. But it used to be tough. It used to be a Land Raider toughness. It used to
just be a Vindicator with a 5-bin bun and
less powerful main armament. Yeah, I mean, I want Vindicators again, man, so bad. Is that what you said before, Will? Because my headset died.
Will did, yeah.
I think they could just port them in as anti-tank. They're just
they'd
so
be so
models. They
good.
already fit with the range. Just add it in. Just to give it the exact same data sheet, is copied and pasted across them all. I'll go.
Nice
I mean,
going.
I already own a couple, but yeah, instantly I would at least consider running 1 or 2. Like I think they would fill that hole that we're so desperately needing filled. So yeah. But going in, what would be your data sheet, and what would be the one that you'd like to see changed?
So I'm not going to go on Blight Lords, because I've gone on about Blight Lords before. Blight Lords just need either an OC2 or I want them to make Blight Lords the hammer, the anvil.
1 4 game, 4 uphill, no pain.
Something like that, yeah. Just something to make this unit tough. Please buff the Plague Flail. It's so pathetically bad. Make it strength 6, AP 2 damage. It's so atrociously bad. And then just give them a rule that actually matters, like real ones to really bad. But again, I'm not going to rag on them. We've all had a million discussions about Blight Lords before. What unit would I actually like to change? I mean, honestly, I'd like to see Plague Marines get a bit of a fix. Not necessarily because Plague Marines are bad, but they just... If any unit in the army was to get a feel no pain back, or a -1 damage, please make it Plague Marines, because Plague Marines are just T5 intercessors, and it doesn't really matter that much. Like, they just die at marine bodies. I want them to have a standout thing that makes them clearly a tough to kill marine. And the thing that kills marines is damage to weapons. And a 5 up feel no pain can really put those numbers off, or a -1 damage just straight up to make them just have to take multiple shots to put down a plague marine. I don't want them sitting there and absorbing las cannons. I really don't. Like, if you're going to shoot a D6 damage weapon, plague marine can die, fine. But the 2 damage weapon that shoots at, you're not even great, a 6 up feel no pain, 5 procure on an objective. Because that's the whole point. Plague Marine's supposed to get on a point, bunker it down.
Supposed to be holding, but yeah.
Yeah, so that would be really cool.
Especially if you're standing on a point these days, there's tons of ways that people are putting extra AP into you if you're standing on something.
Yeah, because the second you start messing with 2 damage and its effect on Plague Marines, like, you pass a single feel no pain, great, you've effectively saved an entire Plague Marine potentially next shot. So that would actually make them feel tough, and that's the one unit I don't think it would be super oppressive on. I think if you had it on things like Terminators and stuff, it could get a bit silly then, and a bit out of control, but I think Plague Marine is probably the one unit in the army that can generally just have a baseline, at least 6 up, 5 per an objective, or some form of like damage reduction, just to make them actually feel like a durable marine. Like I said, I don't want the lore stuff where it's like I shot him with a las cannon and half his torso was still matched with a bolt gun, because that's not fun. That's a bit silly and a bit daft. Like, but the guns that typically kill a plague marine typically kill a marine, like plasma guns and stuff, need to
less effective
against plague
maybe
marines.
the Death Shroud's rule when standing on an objective. So weapons with a higher strength get management of wound when standing on an objective. That might be fine.
Yeah, possibly. Like I said, any sort of durability output increase would be quite nice. So that would probably be my go-to one there. Anyone else got one? Go on.
I've got 3.
Okay.
I'll let you do yours.
It'd be quite quick. It's we've got like 9 minutes, but it's Daemon Prince is I want a points reduction on them to actually take them. I think they should be flat T11, regardless of which one you take. And if you look at the a Chaos Daemon Prince in allies, I would want them to have the Harbingers of Death ability. They choose lethal, precision, or sustained. When this model is selected to fight, and I think because our Daemon Princes are always going to be melee of a kind, right? But then it should be a reason to take them. At the moment, there's just zero reason to take one. It's even if you're umming and ahhing about points, they're so expensive that there's so many other stuff you can put in that like it's not even in the mix. And if you start building out a list with it, well, the 6 up feel no pain doesn't do any good for the points cost of to get it out there at 160. And he's still only got 7 inches of movement. And he obviously can't move through walls. And there's just like reason after reason not to take them at the minute. Yeah. And I really want them to have. And I think they should have deep strike. I think they should just either one. You should be able to just bring it in. I'd actually like to see, to be honest, a single Daemon Prince data sheet that is just like a balance of those things. It's coming out of the warp. It's a demon. It's a Daemon Prince. It should be able to just pop into the battlefield, and then give it that rapid ingress threat as well. That's what I'd like to see personally. That's the other big one for me.
No, I think that's really good. So I've got 3 super quick ones, and these ones are all things that I think they could just fix in FAQ, and I think if they were to really stop and think, they probably would. 1, the Defiler and the Sword Grind, same thing. 5 inches terrain move over, or even 6 inches terrain move over, so it's actually usable. Land Raider, capacity of 7, Terminator armor, so you can put 6 and a champion in. And because I've been really high on them recently after not hitting them at all, Blight Haulers get their +1 to wound vehicles and monsters.
Yes.
Because those 3 things I think are all just simple FAQs, and I don't think the points need to change any of them to be added. They could just do it, blah blah blah. I almost think they probably think that they're on the data sheet already, if that makes sense. So that'd be my 3 quick ones.
Those are extremely quick, easy fixes there as well.
Yeah, I like those.
I mean, like, obviously I'd like to see some buffs to some of the less tuck variants. Like, I'd like to see the Blightbringer, the Plague Surgeon, and the possible. I just want to see the Taliban get changed to if this unit is on the battlefield or embarked in a transport that is on the battlefield. Yes. That would make him instantly more usable. Like, that's instantly great, because his ability is really good. He's +1 to hit. You just don't get to use it much because you need him out of a transport. But Plague Marines need Rhinos. He's a bit of a contradiction there. Bellboy, if he could just give something like, if he could give a once per game advance and charge, that would be sick. Like, I'm not saying he should give that, because maybe that's not something she could death guard, but he just needs a little extra something. He's not awful, but he's just like, he just needs some. Even if his contagion aura was the one that like stops any reactive moves, because the bell's droning, it's like giving him a headache or whatever. It prevents Overwatch, prevents anything like that being used.
Yeah.
Like, just literally just have it as like no rule or like no stratagem can be used on a unit that's within range of this bell.
That would basically be like, that basically all could almost become our version of a Vect.
Yeah, that would be
It's like within 12-inch aura around him at all times. If you're within that, there's certain things you can't do.
Yeah.
I think even an army-wide rule, you talk about debuffs, even just having like incantation, or you always have Vect on incantation, because that's just
That would be nasty. That would be funny.
Might
but
be
it'd be
too
nasty.
strong stuff like that.
Love it.
That'd be better as an enhancement, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be a great enhancement. That because that Demon Prince would actually be annoying.
Oh god, it would be oppressive. So before, because obviously Dave, as Dave sort of is pointing out time, we've only got five or so minutes left. Before we go sort of the outro stuff, Dave, should we touch on you with your LVO list? Are you any close to making a final selection, or are we about to open a can of worms here?
You're kind of opening a can of worms, to be honest. It's no is the answer. I'm not close. I'm not massively. If I'm still really kind of like umming and ahhing between a few, I'm going to go to like probably take something fairly close to what we took to Leicester Will, I think, because I can play that kind of list. I can play 18 and kind of Morty hands, like that's no problem. So I'll probably go down that kind of route. But it's the day. It's we talked about it before, right? But it's the fact that they just, depending on what terrain set you walk up to,
It changes
out of 1,100 tables, there's no chance of ever predicting what terrain set you're going to walk up to.
Yeah.
And then on day 2, it's like shooting city. So it's like you've got to take some form of shooting in this list. And so I'm just messing around with whether it's 3 predators or whether it's brigands. And I was even putting a list on like, you could put a despoiler in there, but I don't want to. I don't want to take it to. I'm not going to stick a despoiler in a plane. I think that's probably a recipe for disaster. So I'll come back to that. I've got a game Friday, so at club to sort of try out a list, and then I think I've got time for one more before we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably there'll still probably be a load of WhatsApp messages between all of us, to be honest. But I will share some stuff into the Discord, so the community can see what I'm kind of thinking. But just for everyone saying, I did share with these guys what I called a Death Guard Armored Division list, which was like triple Plague Burst Crawler, 3 Predator Destructors, a Land Raider, and then basically like 2 5-man Marine units in there. Just because actually looking at it, you're also going, actually 3 Plague Burst Crawlers would be really handy at this kind of.
Yeah, they just drive out and stand on the objectives.
Picking up, like trying to pick off like little 5-man units that are trying to point score and like just parking on bits and then having predators floating around the back to shoot stuff at distance. But I think it needs a mix of infantry in there just to and some scoring units to play the game. So long-winded answer, but no, not really. Will is where I'm at. Derp, I know. I just saw your question. My stuff from Army Painter hasn't arrived yet. Is the answer to painting. So he's still here, and he's still sat on my desk looking at me. But I've had no paint or paintbrushes turn up. I wonder if it's just Christmas post and stuff. Perhaps that was all slowed down. But don't worry, it will be happening.
So before we do the sign-offs, then, is there anything in chat? Because I realised when I was constantly crashing, I think for whatever reason my internet just can't cope with streaming and having YouTube as well, so I can't see the chat at the moment. Is there anything in chat that we want to sort of any questions that we want to answer, sort of to bring us to a nice close before we do the sign off?
More just suggestions, like some people thinking like bolters should give Bile Boil like bluffs out, which would be quite nice. Some wants like again them kind of buff there. People saying an extra wound rather than minus some damage for like Plague Marines, stuff like that. Minus, giving 3 wound Plague Marines or like 4 wound Terminators. It's more just suggestions. People want to see like Torrent Detachment, which I'm sure we'll have plenty of discussions for when we get that, I think, announced and we start getting some sneak peeks of like GW does their articles of, hey, this is something you can feel in this army. So I will be looking forward to that when that does come out. But yeah, part of that, it was mainly just bullying Dave for his painting because people want to see him paint that Plague Surgeon really. But I mean, overall, I think it's going to be a good year. We've already had a great year in terms of a channel and in terms of an army.
Yeah, really good.
And I am excited to see what's coming up. I have, obviously, Coventry coming up, probably next event, which I'll be taking more than likely Flyblown host too. So we'll see how that goes. What about you guys?
I'm at Nottingham. I'm still perfecting the 18 Death Shroud list and stuff.
I'm so happy you playing, still playing that and coming to love it.
I think there might be 3 carnivals back in it, which makes me very happy. It might be 15 Death Shroud actually. That's
Yeah.
the next iteration. I'm kind of 2 carnivores, 18 Death Shroud,
Nice.
or 15 and 3 carnivores. So
Nice.
that I've got a couple more test games, and I think that's where I'm at with that one. And then I might, if I feel that I've perfected it for the sweet spot for me and my play style, then I might just go back to Plague Venus because it's still my favourite one to play. I enjoy playing that way more than I enjoy the Death Shroud list, and I do better with it as well. I just, because I'm fixated on this Death Shroud list, I see it as a problem that I have to solve. So yes, I'm just trying to, I want to solve it for myself, and then once it's solved, I feel I can sort of forget about it and move on to other stuff.
And obviously, Dave, you got LVO coming up, so we'll
LVO, and then
I'll
try, and then I'm going to try and get into. I'll try and get my the kind of super majors booked in for the year after that point. So once back and we have a chat about that, I think we'll we'll try and coordinate between us which ones we're going to try and go to this year. I think it'd be good if we can try and hit a few more of those, and I'll definitely try and come up to your guys' neck of the woods for an RTT or something so the 3 of us can be at the same event. That'd be quite fun as well.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I've said we should try and do maybe a team event. We can't all play Death Guard, unfortunately.
I really want to find a friendly TO that would let us play.
I asked a couple of local guys who did that, if they would let us. Like, it was hard, no. But we could do it, I could run Nurgle Demons, you could run Chaos Knights, and it could be on obviously Death Guard. Then Sue can find a Chaos-based meme play to do a 4-way. At least we're true to a theme then, and do, something kind of fun around it. But this is all stuff we'll look at closer in the year. But but this year, it's a new year, new start, and New Year's resolutions. What my New Year's resolution was? I want to get better at Warhammer. Where can I go to get this help and improvement? Who is there a service out there that can help me?
There is, Will. There is a lovely group of people called Vanguard Tactics who are not only friends of the channel, but as you'll see, I've played there recently. Aidan and I both played for them, and Aidan is their Death Guard coach. So you absolutely can get coaching one-on-one with Aidan through Vanguard Tactics. You can join their masterclasses that they have, which are paid products, which let you get better at the game against certain factions and get all the insights from their experts. They've got free battle reports. At least twice a week. So go and check out their channel anyway and subscribe. It's a great resource, and it's all about sportsmanship and just being a great opponent. So you can do that. And but before you can even get better at it, Will, I mean, you need models, right? Like where can I get another plague surgeon if I needed it?
Well, there you go. Element Games is an affiliate with us as well. We've done this so many times now. So Element Games we're affiliate with, so we have affiliate link, same as a lot of other content creators out there. So what you do is you click our link, you go to Element Games, do all your shopping as you would normally, put in your basket. It doesn't cost you any more, and we just get a little kickback for the channel. Just helps keep us going, keep the light on. And of course, like, subscribe. Don't forget to do that, guys. You would be surprised how much it helps your algorithm and keeps us moving. But also when I'm playing it, I really sometimes I can just never remember the range of a contagion, and if I'm measuring it, I really struggle to. If only there was a contraption that could help me. Where might I find such a thing?
You can find such a thing at Saltire Games Etsy page in the link below. Use promo code NERGLE, get a bit of percentage off your order, and you can find some disgusting resilient themed gaming aids like Contagion, Range Markers, Deep Strike Markers, all that good stuff. So check those guys out. And also thank you very much to the Legend27 for becoming a Plague Room mate. Really appreciate the support. Once again, check that community tab on our homepage to find the link to join the Discord, which would be awesome. Does Element Games ship to the US? This is one for you, Will. I'm not sure.
They probably do, but it's probably quite expensive. I think as much as I do some part-time hours on the Till Element Games, so obviously I'm very pro Element Games. I think if you were to ship to the US, unless you were like putting a huge order in, you would probably be better. I also think there might be some weird stuff that Games Workshop put in place about you're not allowed to retailers out in different countries because of.
Okay.
So I'm not sure on that one, to be honest. I wouldn't want to give a clear-cut answer either way.
No,
if you're unsure, try it on the website. If not, but also actually an extension of that for the US guys out there. If there is a big US retailer that does what Element Games do with affiliate links, please let us know about them. We'll reach out to them. We'll do that for you guys over there. But also, it's been Christmas, we've all had lots of new claws and things, I'm sure, but if you wanted to get more new claws, maybe some disgustingly resilient branded ones, where might we get those, Dave?
You guys can just visit Disgustingly Resilient store, which is drpstore.com, and also we will have, we're just going to update the video link as well, and you can also go and get any kind of dice that you want for both Death Guard and our other factions with the Baron of Dice. So we will make sure we add a link into the bit there. It doesn't give you that specific discounting, but it does kind of give us a little kickback from those guys to help support the channel.
Yeah, and stay tuned for more content. I'm working on updating some Flyblown host videos to get them up probably this week.
Yeah.
I just wanted to update them with some changes after my experiences. But that's about it for now. So for now, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Thank you, Dave, for giving us an extra couple of minutes there. And we will catch you all on the next episode. Stay right, everybody. Take care. Enjoy your new year. And we will see you all very soon. Take care, guys. See you later. Oh, music's on for you guys.
From the shadow depths of a broken hive, corpses twitch and come alive. This crimson plague, it feeds on fear as the bodies drop and it draws us near. Our skin is crawling, something's inside. Internal organs liquefied. Death Guard's gift, a twisted fate. No escape from me, yeah, it's too late. No goal comes except your fate. It won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Run the rod, walking pox now takes its bite. Lungs are burning, pox fills the air. You scream for help, but no one cares. Bones are breaking, bodies twist. The Death Guard's gift, death's toxic kiss. Pale-eyed stare with a hollow glare. They're gone but shambling, lost somewhere. This hive is his, disease and broom. No light survives in this darkened tomb. Then no comes except your fate. And won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. You feel it settle deep inside. There's no cure, nowhere to hide. You breathe me in, you can't escape. I am the plague, I am your fate. What can you feel it in your bones? This is where it now goes home. No mercy here, you're out of time. Your final breath is at last mine. Watch it all decay, fall into your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. From the skies we come to claim our prize. A world infected before your eyes. We are the run, we are the end. The Death Guard's mercy is death again. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite.
In the shadow of decay I rise, Typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nobles rattling lost to waste, The Reaper's scythe, no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth, I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Nurgle's name I spread death with ease. Pestilence walks with me hand in hand. Rivers of filth drown the land. I am Typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin, I claim the day. Light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, what consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth. Carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth, I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Nurgle's name I spread death with ease. Pestilence walks with me hand in hand. Rivers of filth drown the land. I am Typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin, I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth. Carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth, I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Nurgle's name I spread death with ease. Pestilence walks with me hand in hand. Rivers of filth drown the land. I am Typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin, I claim the day. Language howl, the gusting pulse. The pestilent tides, new life is born. Nurgle's blessing, a twisted grace. I embrace your heart in my golden embrace. Fear the plague fleet, fear the end. No salvation, no let to defend. I am Typhus, reaper of dread. Bow to Nurgle, embrace the